Well, it's been an interesting week. This is probably going to be a little longer than usual, which is funny because most of them have been running 20 to 30 minutes anyway. So I hope that you're looking forward to hanging out with me today. I do have some visual things that I would like to show you, and I'm going to do those. I'm going to do all of them up front so that if you like to just listen to me babble on while you're doing other things around the house, if you want to see the visuals, we'll get them out of the way, and then you can just pop in some earbuds and get to doing what you usually do when you listen to me talk on a Saturday. So first we're going to talk about the things that brought me joy this week, because I think that that is a very good place to start, because it's always a great place to start, right? The things that make us happy are the things that keep us going. So let's talk about the things that I did this week that brought me joy. We got our first tomato of the year, which is super exciting, especially because the rest of our garden is an absolute mess. I never got the rest of my starters planted, so we do only have the tomatoes, and we have our strawberry plants, which have come back from last year. Also very exciting. It's always nice to, get to grow my own stuff. So that brought me a lot of joy this week. And of course, also bringing me joy this week was this nut bar who really, really wanted to snuggle. So he maneuvered himself into the, to be fair, not very much space on the love seat with me when I was just hanging out and reading. And I was trying to get his attention, but he is ignoring me as I film. I think he was afraid that if he acknowledged where he was and what he was doing, I was going to make him get down, which would never, ever happen. I love when he wants to snuggle with me. He is such a love. And yeah, so this was a really nice time, and very, very joyful to have my little snuggle buddy on the love seat with me. And then I completely took Thursday night off, and I read fan fiction, and I made myself a root beer float, and it was just a lovely time. So all in all, a very satisfying week, emotion-wise, life-wise, whatever. I did a lot of things this week that made me happy, and that is always fantastic, right? And because I'm doing it this way, things are going to be a little bit out of order. I'm going to show you the stuff, and then we may talk about it again a little later. But I don't really know, because like I said, I don't script these, so I tend to just ramble, and you guys seem to really enjoy that, and I appreciate that about you. So next we're going to take a look at my board, because I reset some things. Originally, when I set up the board, it was for just this 45 days, just the tasks I wanted to do for the 45 days that I'm doing my FYSO. So once I realized that these things were working, I decided to go ahead and reset the board to extend that through the end of the quarter, through the end of June, July, August? No. Oh my goodness. Through the end of September. All these calendars, I still don't know what day it is. So I updated the board to include everything I need to do through the end of September. So let's take a look at that real quick. So as you can see, I added a lot more tasks to this board, which obviously, because, the difference between 45 days and 90 days is an additional 45 days. So there are a lot of tasks that I needed to extend, I guess would be the way to say it. So the purple are all of my writing and writing social media tasks. The pink are all of my YouTube specific tasks. The blue are my products like eBay and Fourth Wall. And then I added the gray, which is my home and health and mental health type tasks. So I still have a ton of things to do, but that bottom row is all the stuff I've gotten done in the last 45 days. And it's kind of hard to tell on video, but it is a lot of stuff. I have accomplished so many things, and I'm incredibly proud of myself for sticking with this FYSO and continuing to do things, even if they are not all working in the way I had hoped. But I'm very happy with the trajectory that I'm on, and I believe that these are the tasks that will continue to move me forward. And to be completely honest, I did end up having to buy more of those color Post-it notes because I ran through the 2 boxes I bought last month, and they happened to be on sale during Prime Days. So I went ahead and picked up a couple more so that I could add more stickies to the board. And again, I don't feel bad about that. Those colors make me happy. They motivate me. They're aesthetically pleasing to me, which is not always important. But I wanted it to be a cohesive color scheme. So I did go ahead and purchase more of the colors that I like because they were half off, and that was a fabulous deal. So I have my task set through the end of the quarter. And now we're going to take a quick look at the social media planner that I set up because I promised I was going to show it to you guys. It is not very exciting, but it's working, and I'm happy with it. So let's take a quick look at that, and then we can move on to just chatting about how this week went overall for my FYSO. So I did a couple things in this social media planner. And it's not, complete in any way, but it's what I have, I'm happy with. So I went ahead and set up through the end of the year, just so I would have the pages there and ready in case I wanted to schedule things further out. But I had mentioned that I wanted to find a way to keep track of what books I had promoted, and then also the fact that I had, something scheduled for every day. And then over here, I wanted to get a little more granular into kind of all of my video filming things. So like the red dots are for YouTube. This purple dot down here, I don't know if you can see that, is the TikTok. The blue dot is for YouTube Shorts for Rebel with a Plan. And then I just write down what the videos are for YouTube that I posted on here so I can keep track of that. I also added a social media growth so that I can see my subscriber and follower counts, and if what I'm doing is bringing in more people. And then over here I'm just going to track how much I make every month from the various income streams that I have. And then I have a lot more just blank pages which I will use for like notes and things like that. And then I put in like a divider here, and then I set up my goals for the quarter. And I don't usually do a vision board, but I decided to do one. I don't know. But then my 4 buckets of what my goals, fall into there. And then I have another divider and then just some notes pages. So not, super exciting, not fancy in any way, but I think that this is going to help me keep track of what I'm doing for social media across my writing and my YouTube buckets. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. Yeah, so I just Franken-planned some old Erin Condren notebooks that I've had hanging around for years. And I just pulled a few of them apart and then recoiled them together into a fatter notebook so I would have more pages and I could keep all of my social media stuff together so that I always know where it is. So that concludes the visual portion of our video. Oh, one more thing. Because I need to call attention to this in case you're watching. If you can see this, your dog, Hawk, he's your dog right now because I'm still a little upset, scratched me in the face last night. I was just laying on the couch, minding my own business, reading my book, and then he jumped on me and just right across my face. And I probably shouldn't have covered it with makeup, but we've talked about this before. I am uncomfortable filming without some kind of foundation on just because I'm not thrilled with my skin. So I did cover it, but I mean, you can still see it. If I took the makeup off, it's bright red. It looks terrible. And then, I mean, I'm so covered in mosquito bites and bruises. It's insane. The mosquitoes have been out of control in Michigan this summer, and I seem to be the only one getting eaten alive. I guess it's because I'm the sweetest person in the house. Yeah, not really. But yeah, I think it's because I walk the dog more than anybody else, honestly. So yeah, if you see my injuries, just know that your dog did pretty much all of it. Between your dog, he's your dog. Hawk is yours right now. Between the dog and the mosquitoes, I look friggin' horrible. And it really makes me want to go back to not leaving the house, to be honest. But, the dog's got to get walked, so what am I going to do? Okay, so as I said, that concludes the visual portion of today's video. So if you have things you need to clean or work on and you just want to hear me chat, now is a safe time to put your earbuds in and just go along with what you need to do while I fill you in on what I have done this week. And I don't script, but I did make a little note so I remembered all the things that I wanted to talk about, because this was an incredibly busy, chaotic week for me. And it was good. There were a lot of good things that happened. But I was very, very busy, and I learned a lot of things I learned a lot this week, basically, is what I want to say. And I think that the things that I've learned are going to help me going forward. So let's start with TikTok, vertical video filming. I did get all of my TikToks filmed through the end of the month and scheduled. I am still stuck in what they call 200 view jail, where they push it out to 200, 300 people, and then if those people are not interested, they just stop showing it to people. And I think I have figured out that the problem is I used the TikTok account that I was using for Rebel with a Plan. So all of my view history is a completely different audience. So now, even though I took those videos down and started posting my book videos, TikTok doesn't really understand who to show them to. I have confused TikTok's algorithm, and they don't know where to put me now. And that is a lesson that I have learned. I don't know what to do with that information, because everything is made and scheduled to go out on this account, and I could pull it all down and set up another account and start over, but that just seems like so much work. Because of the way that I made the videos, I didn't save them all. So I don't have them where I can just pull them down from one account, set up a new account, and start posting them over there instead. So I'm not sure what to do, honestly. I'm going to leave it alone and hope that it doesn't take too long to fix. I've been spending a little bit of time in the app, following the kind of people that I want to watch my video, interacting with other authors and book talk creators, just trying to teach TikTok's algorithm who I want to engage with and who I want to engage with me. I just don't know if it's going to work. So that is a lesson that I have learned, that I should have started a brand new account, and I did not do that. So now I am stuck with the bed that I have made, and I'm just going to lie in it for a while and see what happens. Worst comes to worst, if by the end of the month it hasn't changed, then I will have to go in, make a new account, and start from scratch, which is frustrating, but sometimes it is what it is, and nothing in marketing is easy. So expecting this to have worked immediately was ridiculous on my part, and I am no stranger to being ridiculous, so, it is what it is, and that's fine. So I'm going to give it through the end of July. If I don't get where I realistically want to be, like if I can get 500 views per video, I'm going to leave it alone. But if I'm truly stuck in 200 view jail, then I will just start over in August and just create a new account, and that's that. I also learned when making TikToks, I make them in Canva because that's easiest for me. I buy my images from depositphotos.com, and it's a royalty-free site, and it's real artwork. I'm very, very, very careful to make sure that nothing that I purchase is AI created, because I think I've made it very clear that I am not okay with generative AI for artwork and writing books and things like that, because they don't think for themselves. So everything they have has been fed into them from other artists and writers. So all of my artwork, all of my books, none of that shit is written by or created by generative AI. I write my own words, and I purchase real photographers' artwork, and that is what I use. And that's what I use in my TikToks. And I put them into Canva, and I write, whatever text overlay. And yeah, so it's not hard. It's just time consuming. Pulling quotes from books, finding images, things like that is time consuming, but it's not difficult. But the problem is, when I was creating them in Canva, I was just using one template. So I would create one, download it, erase everything off of it, and make a new one. So I don't have any of the old things that I created. Those are just gone. I can recreate them, of course, because I own the images and I know what they said, but I didn't keep them. And I really wish I would have, because it occurred to me this week that if I were to create a TikTok and then I went back and I changed the image and I changed the font style and I used a new song next time I uploaded it, then it's brand new content. And I'm not creating 30 individual videos every month. I can create 10 individual videos, make tweaks to them, and just rotate them through, because especially on the account that's only getting 200 views, those same 200 people aren't going to see the next one. So it's always new content to the people who are seeing it, but it's not as time consuming as making brand new videos every single time. So that is another lesson that I learned. Do not erase the work you've already done, because it can be repurposed. I don't know why that didn't occur to me until I was already, 30 days into this process. We've only got a couple weeks left of this FYSO thing. So I've been doing this since the middle of June, and that's a lot of work that I essentially lost because I didn't think it through. But now I have thought it through. That is a lesson learned, and going forward, it's going to be slightly easier for me to do it this way, especially if I have to create a new account. So we'll see what happens with that. But I learned some things about TikTok. My Instagram's going okay. Instagram doesn't seem to have any trouble knowing who to show my videos to. My views are not great. I'm not getting even 100 views over on Instagram, but it's learning too, and that part I'm not so concerned about. I also started uploading those to my other YouTube account because the work is already done, and I need to stop being lazy about the way I'm doing this. This whole thing was like a boot camp style marketing push, and I am still finding ways to be lazy about it, and that's just dumb. It's just dumb. So I had a very stern talking to with myself, and I have just started uploading those shorts to my other YouTube account like I was supposed to. I'm doing them silent because who cares about the music? And, that's not really doing anything for me either, but all of these things take time, and I have to remember to be patient when starting a new type of project. So the vertical videos are still a go. They're not doing much for me, but, I have to give it time. So I'm giving it time. All right, what else? Another thing that I made a decision on this week was regarding my books. For the last year, my male books have been in Kindle Unlimited, and my male-female books have been what is called wide, and that's Google Play, Apple, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, like So my male-female romances were available everywhere. I gave it a year to see if I could grow a wide audience for my male-female romance. I did not. I, at most, was making $5 a month across every one of those. So total. So wide does not work for me. So I pulled all of my books down from every other retailer and I moved them back into Kindle Unlimited. That's not to say I'm going to start getting page reads on those books. I detest the fact that I have put all of my eggs back in Amazon's basket, but if I am not making money in other places, then at least putting them back in Amazon actually gives me more options to get eyes on those books than having them wide, because marketing wide is really, really difficult. Amazon readers are on Amazon, but trying to market to Apple readers and Barnes & Noble readers and Kobo readers and trying to find them and steer them in these multiple directions is not something I have ever figured out how to do. No one obviously is finding me organically through these other platforms, so keeping them there is not helping me. So moving them back into Kindle Unlimited gives me options like running free promos on the first couple books in a series to try to get eyes into it. I have a 16-book male-female paranormal romance series called Midwest Monsters. I really love these books. I've always loved these books. They're cute, they're funny, they're quick reads. And if I can get people into the first couple for free and then they go and page read through the next, 14 books, that's a win, right? And I can't do that if they're available everywhere. I can't run a free promotion on Amazon if these books are available at other places. So wide wasn't working. I gave it a very, very fair shot. It did not work. So now we're coming back to Amazon. And I know that people feel some kind of way about Amazon, and I get it. But as an author, as someone who relies on this for an income, Kindle Unlimited is just too big of a monster to fight. And people will give up shopping on Amazon. They will give up their Amazon Prime, but will keep their Kindle Unlimited because Kindle Unlimited, the whole point of Kindle Unlimited is unlimited reading every 30 days for $12 a month. Any book that's in Kindle Unlimited, and there are millions and millions and millions and millions of books in Kindle Unlimited, and they can read as many as they want every 30 days for $12. So that is a hard thing to give up, and giving that up honestly hurts indie authors because a lot of us are in this place where we can't grow on other platforms. Our best option is the devil you know. So for better or for worse, all of my books are back in Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited and you have wanted to read my books, but you're not maybe into male-male romance, all of my male-female romances are now available for free in Kindle Unlimited. And since we're talking about Amazon, let's talk about the most surprising success I've had this month. I shared in the community a Prime Day post about all of the sales that were going on various planner things for Prime Day. And so many of you, used my links to go out and check them out. And here, okay. I'm going to tell you exactly how Amazon affiliate marketing works because I have never seen an influencer be honest about the way it actually works. So when I share affiliate links, like down below in every video, I share my favorite planner supplies, and I have an affiliate link that will take you to that item in Amazon. Once you click that link, for the next 24 hours, anything you buy on Amazon, even if you don't buy the thing that I linked to, anything you buy, I get credit for. So if, you click on the link down below to check out my Stalogy, but you don't want a Stalogy and you go off and you look at something else, or you click on it and you close it out, but you go back later that night because you need to order toilet paper and shampoo, I still get credit because my cookie, whatever, stays active in your account for 24 hours. I think it's only on that device though. So if you click it on your phone and you check out with anything from your phone, I think it's 1%. It obviously it doesn't cost you any more than what Amazon's list price is anyway, but I get 1% credit for anything you purchase in the 24 hours after you click my link. Quite a few people, I think, click that link because I am having the best affiliate month I've ever had. So thank you so much. Yeah, it's a weird thing. And I don't know why. I looked and there's nothing saying that I'm not supposed to tell you guys that. But I've never seen an influencer tell you or tell me or tell anybody that if you click any of their affiliate links, even if you don't buy that product, anything you buy for like the next day, they still get credit for. Yeah, so I don't see anything that says I can't tell you that, but I've never seen anyone say it. So hopefully I won't get in trouble for sharing that. Okay, so now let's talk about health and home just really quick. We had an air quality alert from wildfire smoke again this week, so there was no running, which is a bummer. Plus it was really hot. It's cooled off today, but I just have so much to do that I just got up and took a shower and just got to work first thing this morning. So I didn't run today either, but maybe tonight, I could run before I go to bed or something. So I haven't been running or exercising in any way, but I have not eaten as much sugar this week as I had been eating the previous weeks. So I don't want to call it a diet because I'm not on a diet. I'm just trying to be more mindful about what I cram in my face. I know you saw from earlier, I absolutely had a root beer float last night. It was delicious. Like, I'm still going to live my life. Don't tell me I can't have a root beer float now and then. But I'm not having one every single night. So there's that. And then like for my home, I have come to the realization that if I'm going to be doing all of these other things all day, all the time, I need to go back to the 1980s style cleaning. And I'm sorry if I said this in last week's video. I really cannot remember if I did or not. Because I'm pretty sure last week was the week where I told you that I was having a hard time keeping up with house cleaning and FYSO. So what I am going to have to do is like a single day. One day deep clean like we used to do with our moms in the 80s, blast some Celine Dion or in my case Slipknot and just top down clean my house all on one day. Because yes, I work from home, but this is more than a full-time job. This is 12 to 15 hours a day, every weekday, that I'm trying to make something happen for myself. And it is too important to me that I make something happen to worry about the fact that I'm only cleaning my bathroom once a week. And that's just where we're going to be for a while. So yeah, we're going back to all day Saturday cleans. I've always done a weekly reset, but now instead of a reset, it's just an overall clean, because that's just where I am right now in my FYSO, in my career, in my life, that everything gets cleaned on one day with music blaring, pull the family in to help, and it just all gets done in one day. And that way the house is at least getting clean every week, even if by Friday it looks like a tornado hit the trailer. And I say that not in like a disparaging way. I live in a trailer. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that before, but we live in a manufactured home, which is a very fancy trailer. So I'm not saying that in like a tornado hit the trailer park. Like, we're in a trailer park. So that's why I said it that way. So yeah, just to, quick recap. I added all the tasks for the rest of the quarter to my board, and I will be steadily working very hard to get those done. I moved all of my romance books back into Kindle Unlimited in an attempt to try to get more eyes on it, get more page reads, increase my income that way. Also to be able to run promotions. I think I have royally effed up my TikTok, and while I'm going to keep going, it's very possible I'm going to have to set up a new account next month and start over yet again. But what are you going to do? My health is what it is. So that is where we are for week 5 of FYSO. We are almost done. We're almost done with the 45 days. And it is what it is. The month started out super strong with like eBay and my royalties, and then it's just kind of fizzled out. I think that it's just the time of year where people are going on vacation. So they're not just sitting at home shopping and reading and browsing and whatever. It's okay. Like I said in a previous video, I grew enough that I got myself another 30 days, which is fantastic. And I just have to keep going. So we're just going to keep going and hope that, that these moves start to work quickly. And if they don't, that August will pick up for me to at least get me another 30 days. So once FYSO is over, I will not be doing this kind of weekly update, but I don't know, some things are going to shift when FYSO is over, and we will talk about that at the end of FYSO. Some things that I am considering working on shifting around. So we'll talk about that in a future video. But for right now, we are still head down, double down. And things are going well. Not gangbusters, but well. And I will take that. That is a win. So I think I have kept you company long enough. So I'm going to let you get back to your Saturday. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Please don't forget to smash all those YouTube buttons and leave me a comment below and let me know how your week went. And just check in with me and let me know how you're doing. Okay? So I will see you next time. I love you so much.